Hey friends, in today's video we are creating this look using all new makeup, new launches. I have a lot of really exciting launches to share in this video. At the end I will recap the stars of the video. What really stood out to me is being wins, 10 out of 10s, and I've got some fun discoveries for you. As always, I'm going to tag all of the products in YouTube shopping, so as you're watching this video the products will pop up and you can shop them that way. Of course, I will always default to leaving them linked in the description box as well if you like to shop that way. So let's go ahead and kick this off and get started. Okay, I'm very excited about today's video. Today's video is just gonna be a casual, chatty, let's just catch up and hang out video. I've got a lot of new makeup in front of me and I'm very excited to play with some of it. Some of it I have not tried. Some of it I just recently tried on a live that I did last week. So if you don't watch my lives, I encourage you to check those out because I'm always sharing new products in those. So we are gonna have fun. Let me just share some of the products that I have. So I have the Hourglass Illusion Luminous Glow Foundation. Very excited to try this. I have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Concealer. This is new. I did play with this on my live. I got a little bit of opinions on this one. I did get the Jones Road Beauty eyeshadow sticks. Very excited to try these because I love a good eyeshadow stick. I've got the new Saie Beauty powder bronzers. I've got these lovely cream blushes from Bobbi Brown. I've already been playing with a couple shades and I love them. Spoiler alert, these are so good. I've got this palette from Laura Geller. I don't think this is a new palette, but this was just sent to me in PR and I haven't really played with much Laura Geller, so very excited to play with this. Yeah, we're gonna have fun. Let's have some fun, you guys. Oh, and I got the Persona new Cloud Tint lip stains. This is the peachy shade. So let's go ahead and get moving. Let me tell you what I've done so far on my face. I've put my tinted SPF on, obviously my skincare. So what you are seeing my skin like is my tinted SPF. So it means it has a little bit of coverage, a little bit of color. This is not my bare skin. I did apply my brows, my pencil, and my brow wax, which I will link everything down below. But let's go ahead and jump in. I'm very excited, you guys. Let's see which shade I am in the Hourglass. They sent me 3 shades. They sent me 7.5, 8, and 8.5. So let me give you guys a little swatch so you can just see here for yourself, and then we'll determine which the best shade is for me. I was so excited to receive this PR package. I get PR, but I don't get an excessive amount of PR. When I see creators that just get these mountains of PR at their door, that is definitely not me. And I'm fine with that because as you can imagine, it's a lot of wasted product and a lot of like packaging that you have to dispose of. And so I am perfectly happy with the amount that I get. But I'm saying all of this because when I received this Hourglass PR package, I was so excited. I don't know if I've ever received PR from Hourglass, and it came in this beautiful box. Powder, it came with concealers, it came with some brushes, which of course we won't be using. Sorry, Hourglass, I love you, but you know, I use BK Beauty, which, you know, I'm a little biased, but I think they're the best. Okay, so this is the shade 7.5, and this actually looks pretty good. If these go up in like deepness, I think 7.5 is gonna be good because I have a feeling like anything darker will be too dark. But let's go ahead and swatch 8. In case you are close to my shade or a little darker, you can, you know, you can just kind of see. Okay, so 8 is not necessarily darker. Actually, 8, okay, so 7.5 looks a little more neutral and 8 looks a little more golden. Do you guys see that? There we go. Okay, so we've got 7.5 here and then we've got 8 there. So 8 is definitely more golden. I still think I'm gonna stick with 7.5. I like to go with more of a neutral shade. And 8.5 is definitely a little warmer, a little more pinky. So these aren't necessarily like darker than the other, they're just different undertones. So we've got something neutral here, we've got a lot of golden and yellow, and then we've got a real like warm pinky tone. I'm gonna stick with the neutral, that's what I think I'm gonna do. Okay, now the texture of this is, it's not like real thin and lightweight, but it's not heavy either. Now that I'm applying it to the skin, it's not heavy either. Get a little bit more. Let me show you the texture of this. So you can see it just kind of sits there on my hand. It doesn't really slide down my hand. So that gives you an idea of how thin or thick the product is. Well, I want to say it's thicker because it doesn't slide down. When I'm applying it to my skin, it doesn't really feel thick or bad at all. It's just got a little more weight to it. Okay, let's go to the other side. I'm obsessed with these earrings, by the way, you guys. I just love them. These are my more recent pieces from my deal, and I wear them all the time. Like I'm wearing them today with a white sweatshirt, and I actually wore these to the Grammys when I went to the Grammys a couple weeks ago. I wore like this really fancy sequin gold dress, and I wore these earrings. I don't want to speak too soon. Like I kind of smell a little bit of sunscreen. It's not overwhelming at all, but I do get that like slight SPF scent. It's very pretty, you guys, very pretty. Good coverage. I would say I'm getting a good, like, kind of medium coverage from this. I'm getting as much coverage as I need. For some reason, I thought this was going to be very sheer and be like a tint, but I'm definitely not finding it to be that. It feels very like, almost like a skincare product foundation. It feels very hydrating. I almost want to like look this up and see what they say about this product. I wanted today's video to kind of just be my natural first impressions. Without knowing a lot about the product, just kind of what my like instant reaction is when I try it. Sometimes I feel like if we've researched the product too much or we watched a bunch of videos on it, we can kind of walk into it with an opinion before even trying it, and I really don't want to have that. So based on my opinion of this, I'm going to say that it's a good like kind of medium, light to medium-ish coverage, very luminous. It feels very skincare qualities. I want to look it up. Let's see what skincare ingredients it has in here. If it has any, I might be way off base. Okay, so it's $60. It's new. It is described as being long wearing, medium coverage. Okay, I was right on the medium coverage. Radiant finish, which we kind of knew by the name, and hydrating. It's a luminous SPF 30 foundation featuring medium coverage and 12-hour wear. No transfer, creasing, or caking, just smoother, healthier looking skin. Interesting. Okay, so some highlights is it has advanced hydra smoothing technology, hyaluronic microspheres, lock in moisture, and visibly reduce fine lines. Okay, so we definitely have very hydrating ingredients in this here that are going to lock in moisture, hyaluronic microspheres. SPF 30 protection, shields against skin damage. We all know that. Okay, yeah. So basically, it's a very, very hydrating foundation, and it's long wearing, which is nice to know. We do love a good long wearing foundation. Even though it's medium coverage, I can still see my skin in areas that I didn't apply a lot of product. So I like that you can kind of get a lighter coverage from it if you want. It's really pretty. That's really beautiful. Okay, let's go and apply the concealer. Now, what do I want to do? I kind of want to apply the Hourglass concealer because I know I love it, but I also want to talk about the Charlotte Tilbury, the Airbrush Flawless concealer, because I have some opinions based on my first wear of this. We're actually going to apply them both. I'm going to apply this one so I can tell you my thoughts, and then we'll apply the Hourglass on the other side. So I bought this, and I bought it in the shade 5.5 medium. I applied this on my live the other day, and you guys, this is pretty full coverage. It's very full coverage. A little bit goes a long way. The first time I applied this, I didn't really care for it because I felt like it was too heavy. I really did. I felt like it looked heavy, and I felt like it looked kind of dry. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't good, in my opinion. But now I'm going to apply a little bit less, and we're going to see if that opinion changes once we apply it a little bit more appropriately. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my A506, and I'm just going to kind of tap this in the inner corner, underneath the eye, and kind of bring the two together. Perfect. Okay. If you do want a very full coverage concealer, this one is great. It will definitely give you that full coverage. Okay, perfect. We're going to just kind of blend this in the inner corner and take it, any excess on the lid. Tap, tap, tap. How are you guys doing? It is, what are we, in the middle of February? I feel like in some ways this year is flying by already, but in other ways I feel like January was the longest month ever. I have a pretty packed month. I went to the Grammys a week ago, which was amazing. I shared a little bit of that on my live, but I was invited by a friend. My friend Andra goes every year. She was on the Grammy Museum board for like 10 years, so she always has 4 tickets, and she invited me this year as my birthday gift. So incredible experience. We had an amazing weekend. Nikki glammed both of us, and then our friend Jay did our hair, and he glammed Andra's daughters, who also came with us. They're like college aged. So we had such a great time. And then I'm getting ready to go and be interviewed on a podcast with YouTube, which I'm really excited about. And then after that, I'm going to, before that, I'm going to Orlando for a woman business conference that I'm very excited about. So this month is pretty packed for me, but lots of good things. Okay, let's move on to this side for concealer. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury. Pros is if you want a full coverage, heavy duty concealer, this one is great. It did wear really well for me the day that I wore it. Cons are that it can look really heavy if you over apply it. So I personally wouldn't reach for this daily as my concealer, but again, if you need full coverage, this is one to check out. Let's go in with the Hourglass Vanish Concealer, and they sent me 3 shades. And actually, all 3 shades that they sent me are not any of the shades that I've purchased. I've purchased the shade Drift, and I think I purchased the shade Cedar, if that's correct, if that's a right shade. They sent me Pearl, Fawn, and Sepia. So let's watch these and see. I do love this concealer. I find this concealer to be a great full coverage concealer, but lighter weight. I think it's much more lighter weight than the Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, this is the shade Pearl. Ooh, and I think I love this one. This one has a little bit of peach. It's kind of hard to tell in my camera because I have a very bright light in front of me, and that can kind of dilute the color a little bit. Then they sent me the shade Fawn. Fawn's a little more neutral and brightening. I do like Fawn. That is really pretty. I think both of these would work. I think Fawn would work as a really good brightening. And then this is Sepia. Even a little brighter than Fawn. So I think I'm going to go in with the very top one, this one here, because that has a little more peach to it. That is what's going to kind of neutralize my darkness. I've talked about this before, but when you have dark circles or darkness underneath the eye, today mine are not so bad actually, but you kind of think to yourself like, oh, I'm going to put a lighter concealer there to brighten. But if you don't go with a shade that's got enough like peach or like peach tone to it, it won't neutralize that darkness, and it'll kind of be like putting white pantyhose over a bruise. Like you're still going to see a little gray cast come through. So it's really important that you take a concealer that's deep enough with enough peach to neutralize that. And then if you want to go back and add some brightness and lightness underneath the eye, you can certainly do that with a lighter concealer or even a powder. But I'm going to go in with this, and we're going to blend this out. And I already know that I love this concealer. It is a really, really fantastic full coverage concealer that's a lightweight, very long wearing, and I love it. So of the 2 concealers, I'm going to say the Hourglass wins. I think it's a great option for longevity, coverage, and just a little bit lighter weight. So good. Love that. There's just like nothing like putting that first. I feel like adding concealer is like brushing your teeth. It just like makes you feel like it's time to start your day, you know? All right, let's tap, tap, tap. So I would love to know, while I'm blending this out, where are you guys from and what's the weather like? I know that's kind of like a generic question, but we are like getting 85-degree temperatures in Austin in the middle of February. And like 2 weeks ago, we had a freeze. And so it's just kind of like our weather is all over the place. But I'm hoping that our really cold weather is behind us, because it's always really stressful when we get cold weather because we're not like equipped for it. So we have to cover all our plants. We have to wrap our pipes. I'm sure those of you that live in cold climates all the time are like, oh my gosh, Lisa, listen to you sound ridiculous. But we just moved into a new house a couple of months ago. So this particular freeze we had a few weeks ago was a little stressful for me because, of course, I was worried everything was going to break or all of our plants were going to die. I was just a little paranoid about that, but I think we got through it all. Oh, look at that. You can even see the difference in the 2 concealers. And granted, it's also shade. Do you see how this peachy shade just really conceals and brightens so much better than this more neutral shade? I think so. Okay, let's go ahead and set with powder. I was sent the Hourglass Veil Translucent Powder. This is a great powder. I love this. I own it. They sent me is it just one shade that they have? Yeah, this is just translucent. I don't know if they come in other colors, but this is a really great setting powder for those of you that like to keep a little bit of radiance to the skin. Like if you're using a radiant foundation like the Hourglass and you want to set it, but you don't want to mattify it. This is fantastic. And I'm actually going to go in with, what am I going to use? I want to use this one right here, but it's got a little blush on it. I'm going to use the N20. Even though it has a little blush, I'm just going to kind of dry clean it. The N20 is a great brush for applying loose powder when you don't want to apply a lot of it. When you really want to control and like just not apply too much. So I'm just going to tap a little bit on a paper towel I have sitting in front of me. I'm going to load the brush up, and we're going to start right here, just kind of sweeping it in the center of the face, underneath the eyes. When I get underneath the eyes, I'm going to tap it a little bit more. I want to set this, but I don't want to lose the luminosity from the foundation. Ooh, the foundation is so pretty, you guys. It's really beautiful. Yes, that looks so good. So pretty. Okay. Alrighty, we've done that. I need to put something on my lips. My lips are so dry right now. I'm gonna put on one of these little Bobbi Brown tinted lip balms. I love these, and they sent me a few. Let's see, Bare Blackberry, Bare Blossom. Let's see what Bare Blossom looks like. They're super sheer and tinted, so really any shade. Look how dry my lips are. So dry. I got up really early this morning. I went and got a Pronovo scan. Do you guys know what those are? It's like they're MRIs. You can book yourself. You can just go online. They're not in every single market, but they just opened a mobile location in Austin. Basically, it's an MRI and it's preventative. So you can get the scan to basically detect, you know, cancers or things that will develop that you might not detect until, you know, it's too late or until it's later progressed. And the critics of it say that it causes you to overreact or maybe take unnecessary measures or treatments, which I totally understand that. So I think it's just like you know, you just kind of decide like, you know, do you want to know and what would you do with that information? I don't know why I'm talking about this or getting on this tangent, but that's what I went to this morning. I got up at like 5:30 a.m. and did that. And I knew people would ask, what is that? Okay, so then I'm going to go in with the new Saie Beauty bronzers. These are the Super Suede Powder Bronzers. They sent me 2 shades. They sent me Fair to Light, and then they sent me Light to Medium. I think I'm going to do... Let's do them both. I'm really curious to see how Fair to Light looks. And I'm actually going to stick with this brush for this. I love Saie Beauty. I love their, what are they called? The blushes that they launched last year. They were so beautiful. So hopefully these bronzers are, ooh, wow. Okay, this is Fair to Light, you guys, but look, I mean, it's got some color. Does it not? It's really beautiful. Now, I will say, because I didn't powder on this part of the foundation, and the foundation does have a bit of a, I don't want to say tackiness in a negative way, but it does have a little bit of a tackiness to it. Anything you apply like a powder bronzer or powder blush is going to adhere to it. So if I were to apply this on top of a powder foundation, it probably wouldn't look as intense. But again, that wet foundation is just grabbing onto it. I'm actually surprised that this Fair to Light looks so deep on me. I'm glad I started with this one. It's a really beautiful, warm shade. Very warm. It's baked and it has a little bit of a sheen to it. So a sheen is going to reflect light without a shimmer or a pearl particle. It's so pretty. I'm going to take a little bit and we're just going to kind of sweep it in the temples here. I'm going to drop my mirror so I can really get in there, pull my hair back. If you don't have this brush, this is one of my favorites. When we launched singles, I put my money on this one being the best seller, and it was really close actually. The N19 was the top seller those first few days, but this one was like right behind it. And it's a good one. If you don't have it, you guys, I recommend getting it, especially if you're over 40, because it just gives you so much control in how you apply the product. It really prevents you from over applying your products. And it's just gorgeous. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful brush. Okay. All right, there we go. I kind of want to read a little bit about these blushes so that I don't leave anything good out that you need to know. Okay, so they're the Super Suede Baked Powder Bronzers. Buttery smooth powder baked in Italy for effortless blurred bronze dimension. So definitely blurring. I feel like I could see that. Natural radiant finish. Skin-like bronze, diffusing and blurring, talc and silicone free. And it comes in 6 shades, 6 long-wearing shades. So this is Fair to Light, and I definitely think it is darker than you might expect. I very rarely get the lightest shade of bronzer. Let's go ahead and do the next one just to see, light to medium. Let's try the light to medium just to, oh yeah, that's dark. For a light to medium. Ooh, what did we do? I think we might have made a mistake here, you guys. Okay, so let me show you if you make a mistake like I just did here. You see? Let's take our foundation brush and we're just going to kind of bounce it on top to kind of diminish that a little bit. Perfect. Okay. And the next one I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to go back and I'm going to take my powder, my Hourglass Veil powder, and we are going to go and kind of just set around the bronzer. Kind of lighten it a little bit. Perfect. Okay. I do think this foundation, now that I've worn it around a little bit, it's nice to set it because again, it does have a bit of that like skincare tacky feel. And when you apply powders, it can be difficult for them to blend out if they just stick and adhere when you lay them down. So maybe set all over with powder, but if you want to keep the radiance, use the powder like this. Okay, let's go in with blush, and I'm very excited to talk about these blushes. I've talked about them a little bit, but we're gonna give them some more love. These are the Bobbi Brown, what are they called exactly? I don't exactly know the name, but they're a new product. And they sent me a bunch of shades, and I've been playing with the pinky shade. It's in my house actually, but I wanna play with some of these others. So, oh, this is a highlight. Okay, so they have highlight too. It's pretty. These are very dewy looking, very kind of glowy. They sent me this shade. Oh, this is a gold highlight. I don't know about this shade. Look at this. This would be pretty on a deeper skin tone, like for a highlight. Okay, we're gonna play with either this bright poppy pink. Ooh, wow, look at that. Or this bright coral. What should we do, you guys? I kind of wanna, let's see them both. Let me see. I love this formula, but these colors are pretty intense. We're gonna go for it, you guys. We are gonna go for the pink. We're gonna go for the pink. We're just gonna do it. It's just makeup. It's meant to be fun. If we make mistakes, big deal, right? Okay, but I am gonna use my N20 for this because, again, I want a lot of control, and I'm just gonna pick up the product on the tip of the brush, and we're just going to kind of bounce it lightly on the skin. What I love about this product is you can really, really sheer it out. As you can tell, you guys, I mean, look at this, and it's coming from this. If I wanted to build this up and get more color, I certainly could, but they're very easy to sheer out and just get the prettiest like wash of color on the cheeks. I mean, this is gorgeous. I was scared at first, but when I'm applying it on the cheek, this looks like, I mean, this just looks so perfect and soft. Look at this, you guys. This is this. Kind of crazy, right? So I love how blendable these are and how much you can sheer them out. They're very nice. Perfect. So on this side, I'm building it up a little more, and I think I'm going to go back on the other side and do the same. Nikki did my makeup for the Grammys, and you guys, I don't think I've ever felt more beautiful. I don't think I've ever felt more beautiful. I mean, whatever she did that day, and we actually filmed it live, so it's on my Instagram if you want to watch it. I'll link it down below. I want to watch that and like recreate that every day. I think I've just been 2 hours each day to do that, but oh my gosh, I mean, she really transformed me. I felt like another woman. I just felt just so glamorous. She is so talented, as we all know. Okay, now that we have that on, let's take a little peek in the mirror. Okay, I'm gonna take again my powder brush. I didn't add any more powder, but I am just gonna tap it around the edge here. It looks good on camera, again, because I have this bright light, but it's a little bit brighter than I want it. So I'm just taking this powder brush and just kind of stamping it around the edge just to soften it slightly. There we go. We have it exactly where I want it to be. Okay, let's go in next with a product that I'm very excited to try, these Jones Road eyeshadow sticks. They sent me 3. They sent me dark brown. Let's open these all and swatch them. I do like the packaging. It's very clean and very like minimal. I appreciate that about Jones Roadies. They have a very like very zoned in on their branding and their look and feel, and it's very minimal, very clean, not fussy. Okay, so this is dark brown. Wow, you guys, this looks black. Okay, this says dark brown, you guys, but does that not look black to you? That looks black to me. Okay, dark brown. And then we have cream. Let's open cream up. I almost wonder if that got mislabeled. I mean, I shouldn't spread any rumors, but this truly looks black. Okay, this is cream. Now this does look like a cream color. They're very soft. Wow, they're super soft and creamy. I think I'm gonna love these. Okay, this is cream. Cream looks like it was twisted up a little high, but hopefully it won't get smushed when I close it. Okay, and then we have taupe. I wonder how many shades they launched, because I definitely want to get, ooh, this. Oh my gosh. Is this going to be better than my Bobbi Brown? I don't know. My Bobbi Brown is hard to beat. Bobbi Brown is my favorite Longwear Cream Shadow Sticks. But this feels so soft and creamy. Like, is this going to be as good? Let's try it. Okay, I'm definitely going to use taupe, and I'm going to use cream. I'm going to use cream. Let's go in first with taupe. I'm going to go with taupe all over my lid, my lashes to my crease. And then I'll probably take cream and put it underneath my brow. Okay. This is a beautiful, I want to say matte, but don't think matte as in like flat or dry, just matte meaning it has no shimmer to it. Cream shadow that's very cool toned, very neutral. Okay, let me go in and grab a brush and start to blend this out before it has time to dry. I have no idea how fast these dry down. I don't know if I have 10 seconds, if I have 30 seconds. Maybe they don't even dry down. We will see. So I'm taking my N16 and I'm just kind of like feathering it in the crease just to shear it out a bit. Perfect. Okay, lovely. That is beautiful. Super creamy, very blendable. So far we are a 10 out of 10 on these, you guys. We like. I just need more shades. I wonder if they have more shades. I'm gonna pop online after this and see, because I wanna get more neutrals, warm neutrals, and I wanna get any shimmers if they have shimmer. This is good. I love it. Oh my goodness. Now the real question is longevity and how long does it wear, right? How long does it wear? That's what we wanna know, because what I'm seeing so far is like, I have no complaints. No complaints. Okay, very beautiful. Let's go ahead and take the lighter shade, cream, and let's pop a little bit of that on the, underneath the brow. I wish you could roll these down. Oh, look you guys, I think you can refill these. I think these are refillable. That's neat. Okay, let's go in and we're gonna do a little bit, just a tiny bit, because they're pretty pigmented. Okay, and then let's go and blend this out real quick. What do I need? I would love to get, let me get this brush here. I get my little tiny A504. It's a perfect brush to work right underneath the brow. Now cream is pretty light. It is pretty light. I like it, it works for me, but I want something, if they have a cream that's even a little warmer, I want that one too. Oh, did you hear little Mila Maisie? Hi, darling, I'm filming. Do you want to say hi? Come say hi. This is Maisie. We love Miss Maisie. She's our rescue girl. We love her so much, don't we? We sure do. You're such a good girl. Okay, you're going to stay down there, though. She's very attached to me, which I love, but sometimes it's hard to work or film. Okay, there we go. Now let's take, what do I need? I need my concealer brush. I'm going to take my concealer brush, kind of run it and pull up here. This is going to clean up any shadow that we might have pulled down too far. Okay, perfect. Okay, I kind of want to apply a little bit of this, even though it looks black. I just want to try it as eyeliner. I think it's going to be too dark, but I'm just going to do a little bit like right on the edge there. And then I'm going to take a brush and we're just going to kind of smudge and work this into our lashes. You guys, this looks black to me. This does not look brown. Look at her. She literally has jumped. I'm sitting on a tiny little stool and she jumped in the tiny little bit of space I had behind me. I hope you guys don't mind, but she's part of the deal. Okay, so I added a little bit of liner and then I added a little bit of the taupe on my lower lash line. You guys, I remembered that we are supposed to use a Lower Geller palette, so we're just gonna dig in here and play with a little bit. I don't want to do too much on the eyes today. I want to keep it kind of simple. There's a lot of beautiful colors. How much do we have? We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Ooh, they're pretty. They're all like baked and shimmery. Let's see. These are pretty. Okay, I'm going to just grab, what am I going to grab? I'm going to grab this shade right here, Sullivan and Lafayette. We're going to mix the two together and I'm just going to kind of sweep this on my lid just for a little bit of shimmer and just to play with this palette. Okay, let's see. Okay, that shadow stick seemed to dry down. Like I'm touching it and it's definitely set. It's not creamy, so I don't think it's going to move around much, but let's go in with this and just sweep a little bit on the lid. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, that is really pretty. That is a really pretty shimmer. Very refined, just there's really nothing falling off the brush. I'm just kind of tapping it on the lid here. Just tapping it on the lid a little bit. Just to give a little pearl to the look. That's so pretty. Wow, that is gorgeous. Okay, the last thing I want to do to add a little dimension is I'm going to go into the bronzer. This is the light to medium, so the darker of the two. And we are going to take a little bit of this on the tip of the brush and just kind of sweep it in the crease because I do want to keep some definition there. If I was to put the shimmer all over the lid and in the crease, it would just kind of flatten the eye out. And I don't want to do that. I want some dimension and some lift. So that's what we're going to do. So pretty. Very soft, sultry, easy. Pretty, pretty. Okay. Let's take a little more of that powder and kind of sweep away anything that might have fallen out that we can't see. Okay, the eyes are pretty. They're very soft, very sultry, very smoky. I left my current favorite mascara. I want to use the word current here because I still am hanging on to Bobbi Brown being my all-time favorite, but the new YSL Lash Latex Mascara is so good, so good. I left it inside. So we're going to use the Revita Lash Dual-Ended Mascara. It has a primer on one side and mascara on the other. And let's go start with the primer. Get some good length and volume here. Perfect. Okay. Gorgeous, just a really light coat, and then we're going to go in with the mascara. I like to work quickly before the primer has time to completely dry down. I like to apply a little mascara. I hear contradicting things about this. Some people say you need to let your lash primer dry down before you apply mascara. The reason I like it to still be wet is because I want to be able to really separate the lash if I want to. If it's completely dry, then I'm applying mascara to harder lashes that I can't really separate as well. So that is my logic behind keeping it a little wet. But who's to say I'm right? Do what works for you, do what you prefer. Okay, just a couple coats there, kind of build the lash. Perfect. A little bit on the bottom. Okay. All right, you guys, let me talk to you about the foundation and kind of what I'm seeing. It's very luminous. It's very glowy. I would definitely say this is a good option for dry skin. People with dry skin and people that like a glow and luminosity. Keep in mind when you have a lot of luminosity on the skin, it can magnify texture, which, you know, am I seeing that here? No, I'm not seeing that here, but just be mindful of that when you're layering other luminous products. I think the only place I might feel like I see a little bit more texture magnified is here, but I applied that real luminous blush. So the combination of the two could be really magnifying that texture. Overall, the skin looks really beautiful. Very hydrated, healthy, good coverage, pretty. Okay, you guys, for lips, I'm going to blot my little lip balm. And I'm going to slightly line my lips with the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Liner in the shade Rosy Brown. This is just a really good everyday neutral. On me, it leans pretty warm. It definitely comes out a little more spicy on me. Things typically turn more orange on me than they might on others. And then I'm going to blot that together. Perfect. Okay. Then I'm going to take my finger and just kind of blur that line. Perfect. Blurred the line. All right, and then we're going to go in with the Persona Cloud Tint. These are a lip stain, a little bit of a shine. They're very hydrating. They come in 4 shades. This is the shade Peach, which I haven't used actually. I've been wearing the shade Petal. And I like it. If you like a good, if you want some longevity to your lip color, I would always start with this. You can always layer a gloss on top if you want just more shine, but the color on this will last far longer than your lip gloss as well. Ah, this is pretty. Okay, I actually love this color. I thought this was going to be more orangey, but it's actually not. It's a very soft peachy shade. It's very lightweight. So it doesn't feel like a heavy gloss at all. And it feels really nice. You got pretty shine. Okay, that's pretty. I think it's looking a little darker on me because of the liner, but that's pretty. What do we think? We like? Let's fix the hair. Okay, so this is the finished look. Let's do a quick recap on kind of the stars of today's video, like the products that really stood out to me as being products that I would recommend. So let's first start with the Saie bronzers. I think these are very, very nice. For a powder bronzer, they're really beautiful. They're blurring, they're lightweight, but they've got good pigment payoff. I would just give you some caution that the shades translate on me a little darker than you might expect them to be. I rarely pick up the lightest shade in bronzer, especially not a shade that would be for like fair to light skin, but applying this actually was quite a bit of color for me. So keep that in mind. Maybe go down a shade than you might think you should be, but really beautiful. Very great formula. The Hourglass Illusion Luminous Glow Foundation. I think this is a really lovely foundation. I think if you have dry skin, mature skin, dehydrated skin, or if you're just someone that wants good coverage and a glowy luminous finish, I think you will love it. I need to wear this around a bit more to see if this is a foundation that I'm gonna love. You guys know me. I like more like radiant matte finish foundations just for longevity, but this is supposed to be a long wearing foundation. I just don't know yet because today's the first time I've applied it. So maybe I'll come back in a future video soon and I will have more info to share, but I do think by applying it, dry, dehydrated skin or skin that likes a lot of glow will love it. It's really nice. It's a very good product for what it's intended to be. Okay, the blush, the Bobbi Brown blushes. These are fantastic, you guys. I love them. I think the same type of person that loves this foundation, the same type of skin, would love this blush. Very luminous, very hydrating, very easy to work with, very easy to sheer out. They look very intimidating by the colors, even though they do have some lighter colors in the mix. I just have those inside because those are the ones I've been wearing. You can work with them. You can sheer them out. They're beautiful and very user-friendly. Okay, you guys, the Jones Road eyeshadow stick. I'm excited. I just need more shades. So the first thing I'm gonna do when I'm done filming is hop online and see what other shades these come in because these are good. Very creamy, very easy to blend. They self-set and dry down, which is fantastic. That is what we want. So far, 10 out of 10. Let me wear them around again. I just had them on for about 45 minutes, but very impressed. Good job, Jones Road. Okay, so that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll have all the products, of course, like I mentioned, tagged in YouTube Shopping, linked in the description box. I hope that you will subscribe, hit the bell notification if you're not already notified when my videos come out, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.